YouTube, you want a banana? Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's Thursday. I actually felt like a Wednesday when I woke up, so the week has gone by pretty fast. I feel like I'm a day behind for some reason. To kick it off today, let's look at some news. What are the news headlines today? Refresh. These aren't the live updates. I want the live updates. There's supposed to be live updates. Got it. Okay, I know how to get to the news. Let's see. New York City has 49,707 cases, 1,562 deaths. Mega supply seized from seller accused of hoarding gets redistributed. Healthy passenger of cruise ships can get off at Port Everglades. Passengers showing symptoms remain on board. Louisville Fairgrounds to be turned into a 2,000-bed field hospital. Convention center in New York will now treat coronavirus patients. New York issues new guidelines for people to wear a face covering while outside in public. That's definitely new. Navy commander expected to be relieved of duty for leaking memo on COVID-19 outbreak on ship. There are now at least 236,339 coronavirus cases in the US. YouTube, how are you doing? What I'm always curious though is how many of you guys watching this is living somewhere where there is some sort of like shelter in place order or movement restriction. Because one of the headlines I keep seeing flash up now is that either in the US or in the world, 80 or 90% of the population is under some sort of movement restriction order. So that's a lot of people. Definitely on social media, like on Instagram, for example, I'm seeing lots of people getting very creative in terms of how they're exercising, how they're entertaining themselves, how they're still managing to work from home. I'm feeling pretty good today. I'm feeling kind of more on the energetic side. Sometimes there are days where you feel a little bit more tired or blah. Today, I'm a little bit more on like the uppity up. So I think I'm gonna have a pretty good dance practice today. I was talking to a friend who lives in Japan and he's a professional dancer. Yeah, he gets paid to do it, so he's a professional, right? And he also listens to Twice and he knows a lot of the dance moves. So I told him to record himself dancing to a particular part of a particular song. If he ends up doing that, I'll post it for you guys. We'll do a side-by-side of me and him dancing if we can sync it up to the same part of the same song. Weighed myself this morning and I was 157, so weight is holding pretty steady. I swear I am hungry all the time. I could be eating non-stop the entire day. All the hard work at the gym, I feel like it's all wasting away. I'm gonna be so happy to be back at the gym, but also the gym is gonna be such a clusterfuck when the lockdown is over that I also don't want to be at the gym because it'll be so crowded when they open back up again. I would really love to have my own house with an actual garage and more than like a single room so that I could have gym equipment at home, like proper gym equipment. And then I could also have a office or like a guest room. Eventually, one day, maybe I'll realize my suburban fantasy of having an actual house with an actual garage, an actual driveway, my own dedicated entrance, and then having multiple bedrooms. Okay, for today's dance practice, I'm gonna use a little bit of my pre-workout. I have two versions. I have the one that has caffeine and stimulants on it, and I have this one that doesn't have that stuff. If you're gonna work out at night, you don't want to take in a whole bunch of caffeine like within 6 or 8 hours before bed. I'm not gonna go super hard today, so I'm gonna have the one without the caffeine. And I just had a cup of coffee anyways. Okay, it is 7:30 and I'm usually done dance practice, but I am not because a work thing came up. So I've been like doing work on my work laptop, and then when like I'm done doing that little bit of work, I'll go back to dancing, then they'll need me for something and I'll go back. So yeah, just one of those days of work. Oh my god, there's so much work today. Stuff came up at work earlier this evening, so I was sidetracked with that, which pushed back my dance practice, and then I couldn't quite get the whole part that I wanted to learn today. I haven't seen what the GoPro footage looks like yet. You would have just seen it just right before this in the vlog, but I need to come back to that part tomorrow. I want to nail that part. I need to eat something. So whenever I get chicken, I have to be mindful of when it expires. Oh, 4/11. Oh, go you. All the beef expires for the chicken, which is rare. I'm feeling super lazy today just because it's like, it should be 7:30 right now, not 8:30. So I'm just gonna pop something into the toaster oven from the freezer and just heat it up and eat that and maybe have a salad. I thought I would do something kind of fun today for the vlog. Well, it may or may not be fun. You get to find out. Comment down below. I thought it'd be fun to go through my 90s music playlist. So a lot of like pop references and icons from before the mid-90s, I actually don't understand or know of it all. I grew up in Hong Kong and we didn't move to Canada until early mid-ish 90s. And then even then, I was really young and English was my second language. My English wasn't super great back then. My knowledge of like Western music didn't really kick in until around the mid-90s. These are just the songs that I remember hearing back in the 90s on the radio. Yeah, you guys know this one. And because YouTube has copyright, I can only let you hear like less than 10 seconds of each song. Oh, this one's really good. I love this one. Say yes, I say no, cause I need somebody, time to be somebody. Maybe like 4 or 5 songs that I love in here, and this is one of them. It's not as popular. Probably my favorite song in this whole playlist. Oh, you should know that I've got you on my mind. That's such a good song. I'm gonna play that song tonight on my proper speakers, not just on my laptop. This next one is a song I still hear all the time when I go to circuit parties. Nobody's supposed to be here. Yeah, my favorite song in here. I don't know how many songs I'm editing in or out for you guys, but Ghost Town DJ song. I love that song. Such a good song. Like my favorite one on this whole list. Deborah Cox is good. Aaliyah is good. Rest in peace. Do you guys recognize any of those songs, or do you guys have any like favorites from the charts in the 90s where do you remember when you would just listen to the radio and then if there was a song you liked, then you went to a store, bought a CD for like $20? Back then was like a lot of money. Even $20 now is not that cheap. Like album would be $20 plus tax. If it was like a single or like an EP, it would still be at least like $12 or $14 plus tax. Okay, YouTube, it's come to the end of the vlog, and you know what that means. We are going to do trip down photo memory lane. Let's see what we have in store today. It's like, okay, a different year this time. For the last few times I did this was 2016. Now it's 2017. I think I know what this is. I was still living in San Francisco, and I took a trip to LA for a job interview. So this is right before the flight, and I thought I looked all cute. You notice I'm slightly dressed up because if I remember correctly, I was going directly to the interview because I think I made it so that it was a Friday and I would fly in early Friday morning, go to the interview, and then I was gonna like party that weekend in LA. So this was me in San Francisco airport, me on the plane. And then I remember being extremely happy in this moment, not because of the coffee, but because I was driving. I love to drive. In San Francisco, you just don't. At this moment, because I was driving, the coffee helps, but I was driving and I was really happy that I was like behind the wheel again. This is my friend Nerd that lives in LA. That's a super blurry photo. That night we went to a club called Nightingale, which is I think usually a straight club, but I think once or twice a month they have like a gay Friday night. So I remember that trip for sure. And then I did get that job. 2 months later is when I moved down. I really enjoyed going through these old photos actually. It brings back a lot of good memories, especially now that we're in lockdown effectively. It's kind of nice to remember a time when things were normal because things are so abnormal right now. Tomorrow is Friday. Yes, we'll see how tomorrow goes. But until then, bye YouTube.